then that would be constant time. So that's my A over here, and let's assume that I have my dividing line like that. And then what I'm going to do here, I hope I get this right, I'm going to have something like this, like that, and then I have one here clockwise, so B2, B3, and B4. Okay? So as you can see here, if I look at A4, A4 to B1 versus, just eyeball it. A3 to B1. Right? Is A4 to B1 going to be the upper tangent? No. Right? So now A3 is lower than A4. You guys see that? And B1 is lower than B2. Right? So it's clear that if I just took A4 to B2, that it would not be an upper tangent. Everybody see that? Yep. All right. Good. So we can't have a constant time algorithm. We have the theta n squared in the bag, right? So, is there something, maybe theta n? How would we do this merge and find the upper tangent by being a little smarter about searching for pairs of points that will give us this maximum Yij, right? And the goal here is simple. It's at some level, if you looked at the brute force, I would generate each of these things. I'd find the Yij intercepts associated with this line, and I just get the maximum. Right? And the constant time calculus doesn't work. Theta n squared algorithm definitely works, but we don't like it. So there has to be something in between. Right? Yeah, right there.
You don't look too good.
No, you're maximizing the Yij. So once you have the segment, so the question was, isn't the obvious merge algorithm theta n cubed, right? And my answer is no, because the theta n extra factor came from the fact that you had to check every endpoint to see on which side of the plane it was. Whereas here, what I'm doing is I got this one line here that is basically y equals 0, if you like, right? Or y equals x equals 0, or x equals some value, and I just need to, once I have the equation for the line associated with A4B1 or A4B2, I just have to find the intercept of it, which is constant time, right? And then once I find the intercept of it, I just maximize that intercept to get my Yij, so I'm good. Okay? So it's only theta n squared, right? Good question. So this is actually quite very, very clever. This particular algorithm is called the two-finger algorithm. And I do have multiple fingers, but it's going to work out better if I borrow Eric's finger. And we're going to demonstrate to you the two-finger algorithm for merging these two convex hulls. And then we'll talk about the complexity of it. Okay?
Why are they killing him?
My innovation, again, last night, was to turn this from a two-finger algorithm. Not only did I have the bright idea of using Eric, I decided it was going to become the two-finger and string algorithm. Okay, so this is wild. This is my contribution to...
Coach us up, boy.
Come on. So the way the two-finger algorithm works, and this pseudocode should be incomprehensible. Okay. If you just look at it and you go, what? Right? But this demo is going to clear everything up. Right? So here's what you do. So now we're going to do a demo of the merge algorithm that is a cleverer merge algorithm than the one that uses order n squared time. And it's correct. It's going to get you the correct upper tangent. And what we're starting at here is with Eric's left finger on A1, which is defined to be the point that's closest to the vertical line that you see here, the one that has the highest x coordinate. And my finger is on B1, which is the point that has the smallest x coordinate on the right-hand side subhull. And what we do is we compute for the segment A1, B1, we compute Yij, in this case Y11, which is the intercept on the vertical line that you see here that Eric just marked with the red dot. And you can look at the pseudocode over on to my right if I face the board. And what happens now is I'm going to move clockwise, and I'm going to go from B1 to B4. And what happened here? Did the Yij increase or decrease? Well, as you can see, it decreased. And so I'm going to go back to B1. And we're not quite done with this step here. Eric's going to go counterclockwise over to A4, and we're going to check again. Yeah, keep the string taut. Check again whether Yij increased or decreased. And as is clear from here, Yij increased. So now we move to this point. And as of this moment, we think that A4B1 has the highest Yij. But we have a while loop. We're going to have to continue with this while loop. And now what happens is I'm going to go from B1 counterclockwise again to B4. And when this happens, did Yij increase or decrease? Well, it decreased. So I'm going to go back to B1. And Eric now is going to go counterclockwise to A3. And as you can see, Y31 increased a little bit. So we're going to now stop this iteration of the algorithm. And we're at A3B1, which we think at this point is our upper tangent. But let's check that. Start over again on my side, B1 to B4. What happened? Well, Yij decreased. So I'm going to go back to B1, and then Eric's going to try, he's going counterclockwise, he's going to go A3 to A2, and well, big decrease in Yij. Now Eric goes back to A3. At this point, we've tried both moves, my clockwise move and Eric's counterclockwise move. My move from B1 to B4 and Eric's move from A3 to A2. So we've converged, we're out of the while loop. A3, B1 for this example is our upper tangent. All right? You can have your finger back, Eric. So the reason this works is because we have a convex hull here and a convex hull here. We're starting with the points that are closest to each other in terms of A1 being the closest to this vertical line, B1 being the closest to this vertical line. And we're moving upward in both directions because I went clockwise and Eric went counterclockwise. And that's the intuition of why this algorithm works. We're not going to do a formal proof of this algorithm, but the monotonicity property corresponding to the convexity of this subhull and the convexity of this subhull essentially can give you a formal proof of correctness of this algorithm. But as I said, we won't cover that in 046. So all that remains now is to look at our pseudocode, which matches the execution that you just saw, and talk about the complexity of the pseudocode. What is the complexity of this algorithm? It's order n, right? So what has happened here, if you look at this while loop, is that while I have two counters, I am essentially looking at two operations per loop. And
give me a moment.
Either one of those counters is guaranteed to increment through the loop. And so since I have, in this case, p points, in one case, p plus q equals n. So let's say I had p points here, and I have q points here. And I got p plus q, let's say, equals n. Then I got a theta n merge, simply because I'm going to be running through and incrementing.
See?
As long as I'm in the loop, I'm going to be incrementing
Not yet.
Either the I or the j, and the maximum that can go to are p and q before I bounce out of the loop, or before I rotate around. And so that's why this is theta n. And so you put it all together in terms of what the merge corresponds to in terms of complexity, and put that together with the overall divide and conquer. We have a case where